A local sheriff surrounded by controversy once again. First, it was for his comments about Kamala Harris's supporters. Well, tonight he's responding to a 19 News investigation that former inmates are claiming they had worked at his fundraising campaign event. Caitlin McCarthy with the details on the allegations and what the sheriff is saying.
Never once did they ever inform us that we were doing any sort of work for the sheriff.
Christopher McCullough was an inmate at the Portage County Jail. He claims he did re-election campaign work for Sheriff Bruce Zukowski while serving time in 2023. He says this picture is proof. McCullough says it's of him and another inmate doing work for Zukowski's re-election campaign.
It was me and about 3 other guys. We would go in and we set up all of the tents. We set up the grills with fresh propane. We brought out all their steaks, potatoes, all their food to cook for everybody. We filled up their coolers with drinks and ice. And we just set up this entire fundraiser, but it wasn't community work. It was specifically, strictly just for him to get reelected. It was his reelection fundraiser.
In a statement, Sheriff Zukowski says he was unaware of any inmate doing work on his campaign. After our 19 Investigates story on these allegations, he says he started an investigation into the situation. He says the inmates who were there were enrolled in the trustee work program. McCullough says he was a member of that program. At the event being called into question, the sheriff claims a deputy called one of the work crew supervisors to discuss a potential inmate job at the fundraiser's location. Unknown to that deputy, the supervisor had a crew of work program inmates in his vehicle. And according to the sheriff, an inmate asked if they could help move tables and chairs, which they did for a short time at the event, then left. In his statement, Zukowski says in part, "This was done without my knowledge and without my permission. I have always made it clear of what responsibilities and tasks can be formed by inmate trustees and that they are not to be involved in anything political or for profit. I have moved forward with discipline on both employees involved. I have and will continue to maintain our agency in the most transparent way possible." The Ohio Secretary of State's office tells us they are reviewing information to see if an investigation is warranted. Reporting in Portage County, Caitlin McCarthy, 19 News.